Any movie and series you can also recommend?
One recent series which I was watching, Cassandra. That is AI bot actually. All of my friends selected, and I was like, man, everyone is selected. What I will do? So my dad told, do MBA. MBA, I'm not liking it. BCA, I'm done. And at that time, I realized I don't like coding as well.
अच्छा तो मतलब यूर अ राइट पर्सन. वो था ना, दोस्त फेल हो जाए तो दुख, दोस्त पास हो जाए तो सबसे बड़ा दुख.
सबसे बड़ा
अब तो
दुख.
यू आर ऑल अलोन. मेजर क्या प्रॉब्लम देखी व्हेन दे न्यू स्टूडेंट्स कम आउट फ्रॉम द कॉलेज? वो डायरेक्ट आजकल सभी काफ़ी कॉलेजेस साइबर सिक्योरिटी भी करा रहे हैं. स्टिल पीपल आर नॉट एबल टू फाइंड अ जॉब इन द पेन टेस्टिंग. बंदों को नहीं मिलती है. तो व्हाट इज द मेजर चैलेंज यू अंडरस्टैंड?
See, first of all, understanding pen testing है क्या, and दूसरा आपका passion. If you want to pursue certain career, and if you don't have passion, if you don't have mindset where exactly this career will take me, that mindset is very important.
If the AI implemented 100%, if we implement all the thing AI into this cyber security, so don't you think we are giving access to someone else openly?
You deploy AI for efficiency and process improvement, but there will be human involvement always.
What do you suggest would be the best way to enter into the cyber security? Welcome back to our another episode for this podcast of cybersecurity expert. Today I have Nitin Gulia with me. So hi Nitin, how are you?
Thank you for having me, Nitin. It's my pleasure being here.
Pleasure is mine, yaar. I'm very happy to have you here. And you're such a nice guy that
Thank you.
the audience will come to know in some time. So yeah, of course, we are here to share some knowledge and discuss about the cyber security, help others to find the right way instead of going somewhere like scripted and paid version of the finding the right career.
Yeah.
So before I proceed, I really want to know about you. Who is Nitin Gulia in your own words?
So I'll tell you from my background, from my studies, from
Yes.
where I, started my journey. So my name is Nitin Gulia, coming from Delhi. I studied in Janakpuri,
Acha.
right? Started, I think in 2009, Janakpuri, there was a school, Shanti Gyan Niketan.
Okay.
So from there, I did my 11th, 12th, then BCA. So everyone at that time was jumping to BTech,
Yes.
right? But I was like, okay, man, I mean, BTech is something which everyone is doing. Let me do something different, which is little easy, right? At that time, BTech was like, oh, man, I mean, BTech is something very hard, And I don't wanted to go to BTech. I don't know why, but that was something which was in my mind. So I thought, okay, let me do something which is related to computers. In 11th, 12th, I had very good grades in computers. I started liking computer.
You're commerce student or science?
Science.
You're science student?
Yeah.
Acha, you
Science.
started in BCA. Chalo.
Yeah, I was science student. BCA was very easy. I have gone through, I mean, at that time when I was applying for BCA, I've gone through the entire course content. I was like, oh man, this is good. I can clear this easily.
I would like to add something here.
Yeah,
so
yeah, sure.
I'm also Nitin Gulia and Nitin Goswami, profile wise are almost same. So I have done BCA. So when
Okay.
first time I entered in the classroom, so someone abbreviated with the BCA has explained it's a बाप के कैश पे ऐश. BCA के नीचे लिखा हुआ था बाप के कैश पे ऐश. First day मैंने यही देखा, मैंने हो गया. Now continue. Yes.
Yeah. So, yeah, I mean, I landed up in one college in Janakpuri called IITM. But that was also a story. At that time, I was pretty sick. At that time, my mind was like, okay, I have to do BCA. Give me any college. Okay. So I took my dad with me. We signed up. I ended up in that small college. It was very small college. But then it was very nice environment. So after BCA, BCA was done. It was easy for me, to be frank. And me along with some of my friends, we made quite a good circle. All were quite attentive and studious, you would say. But in the end, in my heart, I know I'm not giving my 100% here.
अच्छा.
Because it was too easy for me. I liked computers. They taught me these C++, right? In 11th, 12th, I in fact started learning C++.
अच्छा.
Yeah, yeah. So it was pretty easy. Then second, third year, okay, nice. Third year came, recruitment started. That's where struggle started. So I thought, I will clear exam. I mean that interview and all. I sat there. Interview happened. I was not selected. All of my friends were selected.
For which company?
Wipro.
अच्छा, Wipro.
Yeah. So at that time, Wipro launched some program. So in that program, they were offering masters, 4-year masters, and also employment.
अच्छा.
That was really amazing. I still remember it was Waze. They call it Waze.
Okay.
WASE.
Okay.
All of my friends selected. And I was like, man, everyone is selected. What I will do.
Right.
So I thought, okay, I have to figure out something. So my dad told, do MBA. I think MBA is something which everyone is doing. And once you enter into MBA, you will go directly to the management post. I said, okay, fine. I started reading about it. Then it did not interest me. I
अच्छा.
mean, at that time, it's like, यार ये MBA मेरे को समझ नहीं आ रहा है कुछ. मेरे को कंप्यूटर ही समझ में आता है, वही करना है.
Right.
Right? So one of my friend went to at that time Singapore,
Okay.
and he was also doing some sort of ethical hacking course in one of the institute back in Janakpuri, D Block. I don't remember that place name, but he suggested me pursuing some course from Singapore or UK university.
अच्छा.
But then me and one of my friend, because we both were not selected, one of my other friend.
One more guy.
Yeah, so we started looking universities, different universities outside of India. We started applying. We applied in some universities in New Zealand, in some other countries. But then something happened. And another friend who was also pursuing with me got the job.
चलो. हो गया काम.
I was all alone there. And I said, MBA, I'm not liking it. BCA, I'm done. And at that time, I realized I don't like coding as well.
अच्छा, तो मतलब यूर अ राइट पर्सन. वो था ना, दोस्त फेल हो जाए तो दुख, दोस्त पास हो जाए तो सबसे बड़ा दुख.
सबसे बड़ा
अब तो
दुख.
यू आर ऑल अलोन.
Yeah, yeah.
ठीक है.
So I was all alone. And coding में मेरा इंटरेस्ट नहीं था. Although मैंने computers ले लिया था, उस टाइम पे ये था कि whomsoever is doing coding is badshah in computers. So they
Right.
understand, computers well. So I didn't like coding somehow. So I thought, what I'll do. I started looking some courses in India, but I want to do something different. Like
अच्छा.
back in my mind, it was like clear. I will not go with the same frequency what people are doing. So somehow I found one nice course, cybersecurity. At that time, 2009-10, there was no course in cybersecurity.
Exactly. ठीक है.
There was no masters in cybersecurity specific. There were many university which was offering IT security, technology related courses, masters into that, but it was very specific.
Right.
I liked it. So this was in Lancaster University, UK.
UK.
So I studied about the course content. I applied. There was one interview. Also, there was a requirement for these what do you call English language testing, IELTS. So I gave IELTS as well. Then there was interview which I had to clear. So in that interview, they were not very impressed with my profile because I have done BCA.
Right.
There was no exposure into the industry. So what happened is they did not selected me at first.
अच्छा.
Yeah.
Again.
So I re-appealed that why I wanted to do cybersecurity because there are no courses available in India, and my interest, I want to do something into ethical hacking, cyber risk, to be frank.
Right.
So then they decided, okay, we'll take it, and I was really happy at that
Acha,
time. Yeah,
they accepted.
so they accepted, um, but then funding was issue.
Acha, right.
Yeah, I came from a background. My dad was into Air Force, all government sectors, uh, not much of a funding at that time. It was pretty difficult to
I
send
can
someone
understand.
outside of country for the first time. But then I convinced, somehow he did quite well. So I went to UK finally, and that decision which I took on my birthday. I mean,
Acha.
I took flight on my birthday. A lot of people say that that's your one very special day. What you are doing on that particular day? So I decided I will take flight on that day. I landed to UK, started my studying there. That is, I mean, amazing experience I had in UK.
Okay.
Um, but after completing the course, the same story started. You have to think about job, right? I thought, okay, I will settle down in UK. Yeah, I will pursue my career there, do a job and settle it. I mean, that was my thought process. But then what happened is, at that time I was applying various, these companies are coming into universities, and they were, reviewing your profile, what you have done, what you have not done. So at that time, cybersecurity was something very, like, companies were not selecting people into cybersecurity if you are coming from different country,
Acha,
because
ऐसा था.
cybersecurity is something very niche and very confidential. Um, and when we are showcasing that we are coming from a different country and working in UK for some cybersecurity area, then there were questions asked, your background screening, all
Exactly.
of those questions. Right? So I did that master's from UK. That was interesting journey. Although most of my time spent there in studying, because I was quite struggling to understand the methodology which they were using in studying. So after cybersecurity, I started applying jobs back in UK, but did not get any good job which was specific into cybersecurity.
Right.
There were a lot of jobs into IT, but again, these were not of my interest, right? So I thought, okay, no, I don't want to do something else. I still stick to cybersecurity. Then my dad suggested, okay, you come back and find out something. There's a lot of interesting thing which is happening in India. So I went back, started applying for jobs. Fortunately, after 2 months of struggle, I got a job offer from CISA Information Security. That was a boutique firm into PCI DSS. So PCI DSS is a payment card industry,
Okay.
data security standard. So they certify companies to do business into payment industries, right?
Compliance.
Yeah, compliance. So I went into that company, that was in Bangalore, 2012.
Okay.
Started my journey there. Amazing job, because uh, I went to a team where we used to do these penetration testing.
Acha, so you started it from the red
But
team, pen
yes,
testing.
yeah.
Okay.
So I was happy that this is where I wanted to do. I mean, you did your studies. Now you are applying your knowledge, right? What could be the
Best
best
thing. Yeah.
thing? I was really happy. So for about 2 years, I did penetration testing, vulnerability assessment. Hacking those systems, which I always wanted to do, right? But for ethical purpose, right? So I got a lot of appreciation from a lot of clients, what I have learned, and you are applying that. Like in 2 years, I visited more than 50, 60 clients back in
Okay.
Bangalore and across globe. Immense exposure that time. But after 2, 3 years, I was like, okay, man, I mean, ethical hacking is one thing, but how you protect the entire business from a risk perspective, that is one single fundamental area of cybersecurity. But when you look from a business has to be protected into different angles. Like we call it people, process, technology. Technology is one angle, right? This VAPT is one part of that technological sector, right? But then there are process, there are people involved in it, right? So I went to a function called governance, risk, and compliance. Same firm, governance, risk, and compliance. There was a different team. Now I started looking into the governance, risk, and compliance
So
factors
in how many
associated.
period of time you just move into the GRC?
After 2.5 years.
Acha, that's a
Yeah.
good chance.
Yeah.
ठीक है.
After 2.5 years, GRC practice was something new to me. Understanding processes was something not very interesting in the beginning, but then it was okay. I mean, you started understanding the business perspective,
पढ़ना
right?
पड़ता है उसमें बहुत.
Yes. I mean, boring होता है वो बहुत. Initially बोलेगा गवर्नेंस पॉलिसीज प्रोसीजर, उसके अंदर पॉलिसीज को पढ़ना है, पॉलिसीज को पढ़ते पढ़ते नींद आ जाती है.
Right.
So but that was interesting. I mean, but then with that practice I got a lot of exposure outside of India. I started visiting clients in Bahrain, a lot of clients in Bahrain, UAE, Qatar, um, some European clients, Asia Pacific as well. I visited Philippines quite a lot from CISA Information Security. At that time, it was amazing journey. Um, then I started visiting, Middle East quite often. But irony is that at that time I thought, okay, I will stick to one specific area. Europe was my interest. Okay, I wanted to visit Europe more often. At that time I was thinking this is the area which I would choose, and I will settle down somewhere in Europe.
अच्छा.
But then, destiny had something else. um, I thought, okay, this is done. I want to do something else. So I wanted to learn more into different areas of cybersecurity. So I joined Grant Thornton,
अच्छा.
2016-17. In Grant Thornton, it was advisory practice. We were advising US customers for various regulations and compliance for the banking and telecom sectors.
Okay.
But it was a short journey in Grant Thornton for about 1 year, because that was a desk job. By that time, मेरी आदत लग चुकी थी travel करने की.
अच्छा.
So I was traveling a lot. I didn't like that job because there was no client exposure in that. We were sitting in the background and filling the papers and sending back to the US team members. I said, I had word with my manager. I said, sir, I'm not liking this job.
Directly.
Yeah. So he said, why? What happened? We have hired you to establish this practice and you are growing. You have a team to structure and all of this. I said, I agree with this, but I'm not liking this job because there is no client interaction where you go visit, understand their perspective from a business angle. He said, okay, I understand. So what do you want to do? So I said, I wanted to pursue some role where you will have a lot of knowledge about that particular department, how they are doing it, what are the risks associated in that particular department, and how they are mitigating those risks, and how you can do that. So when you go to the internal audit, technology internal audit function, that's how you learn it. And that's where Protivity come into picture. I joined Protivity 2017 back in Gurgaon office. Protivity then offered me to join in their Kuwait office. So I was in a TMT team, technology, media, and what they call it, telecom, media, and technology. So that was the team I was in. I was hired for cybersecurity function there, but we were serving internal audit function. Every organization have a internal audit department which act as a third line of defense, right? So they review policies, they review a process, they understand how people are working in that particular department, how they are ensuring these policies are compliant, how they are reporting to their seniors. All of these activities combined together into technology risk. So we were serving a lot of clients into internal audit function, and here in Protivity, I spent quite a good time serving various different customers from technology, from telecom, from oil and gas, from media, you know, from banking sector, across all sectors, immense exposure across different countries. I was in Kuwait, I was in Saudi, I was in Bahrain. I joined UAE practice back in 2021 after COVID. Um, but then, of course, this is also a limited journey.
Yeah.
You learn a lot in those years, but then at some place you have to think, okay, this is enough. Now you want to do something else. So then I decided, okay, now I have to do some sort of a leadership thing in order to pursue my future goals. So now I am with DG Liger. So DG Liger, we transform business from a digital perspective. So this entire digital transformation journey we deliver to various clients. But then with this digital journey, there's always a cybersecurity or risk function associated, right? Lot of time companies forget about the security function when they transform, right? There are a lot of manual activities which they perform, but then while transforming this journey, they forget the key aspects of securing those business aspect and those business. So that's where I come into picture. So we are supporting these digital transformation journeys because AI is also coming into picture. So that's where I am also playing a key role. We are securing the deployment of AI modules, AI models, and ensuring that digital transformation which is happening for that company is secure enough, and all the security aspects are embedded once they have the digital products across. So that's my journey. Almost 13, 14 years of experience into
Amazing.
different areas of technology. Started cybersecurity, done risk and compliance, internal auditing functions, and now into digital transformation journey, AI security, AI governance, and so on and so forth.
Great.
Yeah.
So you already worked on the red team and then GRC. You tried anything into the defensive?
How? I mean,
Matlab
what
some
is your definition of defensive?
like somewhere into the SOC endpoint, you get a chance to work here.
Yes, yes, yes. Um, uh, so, in fact, I audited SOC.
Acha.
Yeah, because a lot of companies establish SOC functions,
Right.
right? But most of the time, these are just dashboards, which they wanted to show to their management. Okay, these many alerts which came into the dashboard, and this is how we reacted towards those incidents, right? But what happened in the background? Are these incidents legit? Or these incidents are just minor incidents, actual thing nobody noticed?
Right.
So there is a very important aspect how you configure your SOC, right? SOC Security Operation Center has various elements, right? One is your SIM, right?
Yes.
SIM has a rule sets. How you configure those rule sets, that these rule sets give the legit information about something malicious which is happening. For instance, somebody, your own employee, administrator who is not authorized to go to office on weekends at 7 p.m., right? But he visited office he is in his termination period,
Hmm.
or you say, last few days where he'll be serving for that company, and he has some malicious intent, right? He visited office at 7 p.m. Plugged in the pen drive, deployed something. There was no alert. Since there was no alert, it didn't show up in the SOC monitor. Nobody noticed about it. But then later on, after 2 months, um, they figured out that there were a lot of information loss.
Acha.
Their DLP, data leakage prevention solution, was not able to recognize that from where these files are being transferred, right? Nobody wiped that system where that administrator was working. So all of this information was nobody was looking at that information. So that's where the true cybersecurity or your internal audit function plays a crucial role.
Exactly.
Yeah, we deploy a lot of cybersecurity solutions in the companies, but if they are not configured well, then there's no use of those solutions. So I think, coming back to your question, did I get a chance to work on those solutions? Yes, but from a auditing
Audit.
standpoint, we looked at those rule set. We helped them to identify uh, the exact rule set which they should implement, and um, give the right value to the organization, which is important. Yeah.
Perfect. Now I want to know, as per those who wants to take the expert advice, like someone is there wants to start into the GRC.
Mm-hmm.
They have experience into the IT experience, blah blah things, IT experience. First of all, can they come into the GRC now after having a gap and already work somewhere else, and after 5 years, 10 years, so on,
Yeah,
can
yeah.
they enter?
Absolutely, absolutely.
They can
And I
enter.
think this is a very interesting question. I have seen people in different domains. I have friends who worked in different departments. They were part of a product team. Then they wanted to learn about cybersecurity. So what they did, and what I suggested them, first start with the basic understanding of network, right? When I started my career, I did CCNA. That was my first course,
Acha.
right? So CCNA gives you understanding, the basic understanding of network and architecture. And then once you have that understanding of architecture, how these network functions put together, work together, and deliver the value to their organization, then you built up that layer of understanding, basic understanding. Then you go to certain certifications. Taking certification is also important, but not something extraordinary, I would say. But it helps you to understand that function, to understand where you want to head. For example, after CCNA, I pursued CEH because I have some understanding about network.
ठीक है.
Now I want to understand how we exploit that network. After that, okay, you are exploiting something, but how that exploitation is harming that organization. To understand that governance on top of um, those technical jargons is also important. And somebody who is having no background about governance, risk, and compliance, if they pursue certain courses, for instance, if they go for C risk, there is a very good certification from ISACA. It's called C risk. That teaches you how you can identify risk into different domains, right? And when I say risk, that could be in any function,
Right.
that could be in any department. So taking help of these certifications to enhance your knowledge is the key. And if you pursue the right path, then you can definitely go to that direction. And there is no age, there is no time that you cannot pursue some specific area, right? So
Right.
I think, from my understanding, at any stage of your time, at any stage of your career, you can pursue uh, directions into different areas.
Perfect. So, but still, now the question I continued with my how I started. Like now, I want to start into the GRC. So, what do you recommend me to start into the GRC now?
Okay, so in order to understand GRC, there are three different pillars which you should understand.
Okay.
How the organization is working. First
ठीक
of
है.
all, understand the structure of the organization. For example, you are working in a fintech firm. Then what are the different departments in that firm, right? What are the regulations come into picture in order to establish that function? And then what are the risks? So understanding these three different domains is very important if you want to pursue your career or your your job profile. Just to give you an example, let's say for a bank, right? PCI DSS is one of the important certification. If they will not do a PCI DSS, then they cannot do business with their brands like Visa, Mastercard, right? Then what are the other regulations come into picture?
ठीक है.
Like in India, there could be IT Act,
ठीक है.
right? And then what are the risks associated to that particular department? So you build up your understanding into three different pillars and pursue some specific course into that direction, and then you can
Which
definitely
one you
jump into.
recommend to go?
CRISC is one example,
ठीक है.
and then CISA from ISACA, and CISP is for the entire understanding of your cybersecurity.
Right.
Yeah.
So that is a good
But
way.
I think one important point is also to take is if you don't want to jump into the certification directly, which is very difficult and time consuming, start with ISO 27001.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Right.
So yeah, I mean that would be my take on that.
Perfect. Now I want to know because in this past year, whatever the experience you have, इतने साल काम किया है, मैं you must have taken some interviews of this pen testing guys, VAPT, कुछ भी जिस VAP vulnerability में या फिर pen testing के लिए major क्या problem देखी when the new students come out from the college, वो direct आजकल सभी काफ़ी colleges cyber security भी करा रहे हैं, still people are not able to find a job in the pen testing, बंदों को नहीं मिलती है, तो what is the major challenge you understand?
See, first of all, understanding pen testing है क्या,
ठीक है.
ठीक है. एंड दूसरा जो मेजर फैक्टर है ना, वो ये है कि आपका पैशन टुवर्ड्स, इफ़ यू वांट टू परस्यू सर्टेन करियर एंड इफ़ यू डोंट हैव passion, if you don't have mindset where exactly this career will take me, that mindset is very important. First of all, that mindset. Then coming back to your question, what is missing, the knowledge, the basic fundamental knowledge is important, and that is what is missing these days. Kids learn tools which are available online, but they don't understand the basics. They try to run those tools and try to figure out vulnerabilities, but they don't know what this vulnerability can help them to exploit something, right? So this understanding is very important from my from what I have seen across. When I was working with CISA Information Security, we had a team of 10 people, right? Out of 10 people, there were only 3 people who exactly know when it comes to vulnerability and penetration testing. If you will ask somebody what is penetration testing, they will say, okay, there are vulnerabilities which we identify, we list them, and then report में डाल के दे देते हैं. Okay, pen test क्या किया उसमें?
Okay.
Pen test होता क्या है? So lot of time they don't understand what is penetration testing.
Okay.
So penetration testing is something where you identify vulnerabilities, you try to exploit those vulnerabilities. You have to learn a lot, you have to read a lot. I have seen one of my friend or colleague at that time, he used to spend 12 hours, 13 hours just to study one single vulnerability.
अच्छा.
Yes,
Okay.
because you cannot exploit vulnerabilities if you don't have the basic understanding about those weaknesses. And to understand that particular weakness, you should have knowledge about network, you
Right.
should have knowledge about architecture, you
Right.
should have knowledge about the people who are working behind those networks, right? So there's a term called social engineering, right?
Exactly.
That also play quite a crucial role when you do pen test.
ठीक है.
You should know, you know, there are people administrator who don't do their job on a very regular basis. They are sitting and chilling, right? So I'm sure in that organization, if you know someone who is that kind of personality, he might have not applied those patches. So there are chances that some of their servers would be vulnerable to that particular 0-day attack. So if that person know another person and he had some knowledge about that social engineering and he has studied the profile of that person, then he can take advantage of that.
Right.
So pen test is a uh, it looks very small term, but it goes beyond your technical terms, right? It goes beyond your process, beyond your technology which you are using. So that's my understanding. Understanding your basics, understand your audience, understand the process, and then combine that skill set together.
तो एक टेक्निकल एडवाइस हो, मतलब आई एम लुकिंग फॉर द टेक्निकल एडवाइस. ठीक है, उन्होंने अपना, मुझे लगता है कहीं ना कहीं फंडामेंटल उनके नहीं ठीक होते बंदों के, हो सकता है नेटवर्क ना पता हो, बेसिक चीज़ें ना पता हो. ठीक है, उनको पहले वो गो थ्रू करना है, उसके बाद टेक्निकली उनको क्या प्रैक्टिस करके अपने आप को बेटर बनाना चाहिए सो दे कैन अंडरस्टैंड दी वल्नरेबिलिटी.
I think very crucial and very important is to have that skill set and practice those skill sets into labs which are available. I think I have seen you are doing some sort of in on hands trainings, right?
यस वी डू.
So that is very important,
रियल टाइम
and that
ट्रेनिंग.
helped me a lot, to be
Yes.
frank, because what I did in my masters when I was doing cybersecurity in Lancaster, they helped me in performing those activities. They had those labs where we used to go study the vulnerabilities, how to exploit that vulnerabilities. Once we have exploited that vulnerability, now if there is a guy with the forensics, how they will identify who exploited that vulnerability, the entire trail, right? So I think hands-on training is must for kids these days. And with this AI coming into picture, they must do hands-on, because once AI, comes into picture, most of these things which are these days manual, like these pen test activities, would transform in a different way, right? Like the vulnerability assessment is something which will be automated altogether. You don't have to do anything in that. There are AI enabled systems which will identify vulnerabilities, which will create report for you, but you have to spend a lot of time understanding that vulnerability, doing that research, putting your hands dirty into that task. That
Right.
is important. And I think colleges in India and in different countries, they should emphasize a lot on hands-on training, because
Right.
that is missing for students these days. And once they have this kind of knowledge, they can do well.
So how they can understand this black box, gray box concept?
Again, I will go back to this hands-on training. Black box is nothing but it's just that
You don't
you
know
are
anything.
trying to hack that system without any knowledge,
Yes.
right? So there is a process which institutes can define. If they follow this process, then they can understand this type of technology like black box, gray box. Gray box is nothing but where you have some basic knowledge about application or technology. For example, some application is developed on AWS, and application runs on Android or mobile. So that basic knowledge is something called gray box,
Yes.
right? And that knowledge students and ethical hackers can leverage on and then try to find vulnerabilities. And then there are if you are working for an internal audit function, then there is some, I don't remember the name of that, but you will have the entire information about that application or environment.
Okay.
You just have to find the weaknesses. Knowledge, reading, and putting your efforts and doing hands-on training is must for kids these days.
So, what do you recommend if someone wants to start the career in the cybersecurity? Uh, there are two type of people. Technically good, they can go and learn the this. They can start with the pen testing and all. But the other people who are not good, which I recommend to start from the network security and then jump into the endpoint or somewhere into the defensive part. So, what do you suggest? Like, would be the best way to enter into the cybersecurity?
Okay. Best way to enter to cybersecurity is I would recommend my take would be a little different here.
Okay.
I would emphasize understanding the business these days.
Okay.
And this is a missing link. When I started my career, how I started, I did CCNA. I gained the knowledge about network. I did ethical hacking. In between, I did my master's in cybersecurity. But now the trend is shifting. You should have knowledge about what business is doing. Once you will have that kind of knowledge, you will have a lens of where is the risk, and that risk will impact which business function, and that business function can have impact on the entire organization in what way, right? Understand that understanding about different organizations, then gain knowledge about basic fundamentals, which are your again CCNA programs and network securities, CEH. Then put that knowledge into doing those ethical hacking courses. CISP is one of the best certification which I would still recommend people. If I would go back in 2009 and 2010 or 2011, at that time, my entire cybersecurity masters, half of the modules were based on this CISP course,
Acha.
because that teaches you the basic understanding. So start with that. Sooner you start, better your understanding will become. Along with that, pick one area which is your interest area. For example, telecommunication is my interest area, right? Start learning about how this business functions. What could be the different functions in that particular organization. Start understanding the risk, start understanding the impact, because that will take you to positions quickly. I have seen students or professionals spending most of their career doing one single task,
Right.
and I don't recommend this. So there should be a program which will help students to understand the business function, because business is supporting cybersecurity, right? Cybersecurity is a element which is supporting business,
To
right?
sustain in the
Yeah,
market.
yeah.
Yeah.
If business is not funding cybersecurity, nothing will happen,
Yeah.
right?
Exactly.
Cybersecurity jobs will collapse. Nothing will happen. So that understanding is very important for students who, or for people who are starting their career, because that will give them edge.
Exactly.
So that's my take
Perfect.
on this. Yeah.
That's good to go. So that was a really amazing conversation with you. Now let's move to the next part, that is the rapid fire round. Let's start with the first question.
Okay.
That one book every cybersecurity professional must read.
So it should be academic, or
Any
it should be
book.
any book. Honestly, I don't read much of cybersecurity books as such.
Any movie and series you can also recommend.
One recent series which I was watching, Cassandra.
Acha.
Yeah,
That
it's
AI bot. That
yeah,
bot.
yeah. That is AI bot actually. So I think students or people should watch that before deploying AI to their environment.
Excellent. One habit that changed your career.
um, Discipline.
Oh, very good.
Yeah, yeah. I think that is a core for everything, I believe.
I can see. One myth about cybersecurity you want to bust.
Cybersecurity is not just about ethical hacking or hacking.
Right. So,
Yeah.
of course, you are in Dubai now. So, Dubai in a one word.
Peace.
क्या बात है? One cybersecurity tool that you usually use and you want.
Wireshark.
Vasha. Excellent. Work in India or move abroad?
Move abroad for perspective, but not to escape.
Acha. Very good. Excellent answer. Certification skills.
Certification to some extent, but on top, see, there's no one answer on this.
Okay.
I would stick to certification plus your knowledge and plus your understanding about business.
What message you want to give to this? Because you are not only in cybersecurity, you understand the enterprise infra and everything. What message you want to give to this IT guys for 2025? In 2025.
Start understanding AI.
Okay.
That's going to change the entire industry, which we have never imagined in a way. We used to learn a lot, the kind of learning model which we used to have. We learned about port, we learned about hacking, we did, let's say our lessons we learned in our schooling. But with this AI, most of or half of the things will change in the fundamental nature. So we should learn how this AI is impacting our lives and how we will leverage AI into our daily business lives, but also ensuring the security of that AI, which we will deploy in our businesses.
If the AI implemented 100%, if we implement all the AI into this cybersecurity, so don't you think we are giving access to someone else openly?
No. So, say, I'm not saying you deploy AI and vanish the jobs. Here I meant you deploy AI for efficiency and process improvement, but there will be human involvement always, right? In cybersecurity or in SOC function. I think cybersecurity team should come into that business discussions, understand the model, understand the business function. That's how you deploy secure AI from the scratch.
Right.
Yeah. So that is important.
That lot to know more about the cybersecurity, and now we start talking about the AI. So it's a never-ending topic, I know, but it was a really amazing session with you.
Nitin, you are doing fantastic job. Something which you guys are doing with this podcast or with these learning sessions, it really impressed me, and that is the reason I came forward. I wanted to have a one-to-one discussion, and this podcast is amazing.
Thank you very much once again. And
Amazing, man.
guys, if you really like this conversation, if you find it reasonable and knowledgeable, so do not forget to subscribe us if you this is the first time, and like and forward these videos to someone who actually need it. And if you still have any question from us or from Nitin, just reach out to the comment section, write it down. We'll ask Nitin to revert back whenever he has the time. And it was a very nice session with the Nitin, and thank you very much. Thank you, Nitin.
Thank you, Nitin.